It is a snow day today in Virginia, and I'm being crazy walking out here in the snow. This island girl doesn't really do well in the cold weather. I have snow, kind of blowing in my face here. But I wanted to bring this message to you about change and adapting to change and what that means from a grief perspective. So, grief is the normal and natural reaction to loss of any kind, and that's probably the most common definition of grief. But it doesn't really explain what grief is other than that it's normal. The one that really resonated with me after Frank died was the definition of the conflicting feelings caused by the end of or change in a familiar pattern of behavior. Again, that definition is the conflicting feelings caused by the end of or change in a familiar pattern of behavior. And when he died, everything in my life dramatically changed in that moment, in that instant. And everything that was familiar to me no longer felt right. I felt like a stranger in my own life. And I didn't even want to participate in life, really. It was scary. I think that was probably one of the biggest or most deep emotion that I felt after he died was fear. But the other one was anger and sadness and confusion because I had no idea which direction I was going to go. And so I was forced into this world of dramatic change and being so uncomfortable. And, you hear a lot of people when they post videos and talk about, being positive in the world and embracing being uncomfortable. And a lot of times, you don't have a choice but to be uncomfortable. Today, I have a choice. I am intentionally being uncomfortable in this crazy cold weather in the snow to bring this video to you. Just more dramatics for the video. But to show you that, because I've been through so much in my life that caused me to be uncomfortable, I now embrace being uncomfortable. I'm so comfortable being uncomfortable, if that makes sense. And the snow is just one of those things. I won't stand out here too long because it's crazy cold and my fingers are freezing. But I wanted to show you that you could adapt to anything in life. And change doesn't always have to be a bad thing. Embrace the emotions that come with it, but then learn and grow from it, especially when that change comes from grief. Right? Grief isn't just about death. When Frank died, it was definitely his physical presence that knocked me into this place of darkness. But it was all the things that came after that really put me in this place of fear and uncertainty and confusion. So it wasn't just the sadness and the loneliness and the broken heart after he died. It was all the things that I no longer had. One of the big things was the finances. I no longer had income coming in from his job because he was no longer here. And that scared me to death because I had no idea how I was going to afford living, right? There was a certain way that I like to live and I didn't want to compromise that just because I lost half of my income. So, that's the thing about grief is there's so much change to what you're used to. Familiar patterns that go away, and it puts us in this place of fear, anxiety, unknowns, confusion. And I just want to encourage you to embrace all of those feelings in that moment, and then learn and grow from them, and just really sit still so that you can find the wisdom in those feelings, because there's so much wisdom in grief. I'll tell you guys that I learned so much from this grief journey, and I continue to learn from it every single day. And so these messages that I bring to you is really just my personal journey and what I'm learning through it. And hopefully it can inspire you to venture down your own healing journey and know that, there is light and there is hope, and eventually you can find love again. So I'm going back in the house because my fingers are freezing. It is a snow day in the Virginia, DC, I think even Maryland area. And so everybody in this part of the East Coast, stay warm, be safe out there, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.